It is very funny how you evolve as a parent with each child that you have. There's obviously like a big evolution when you have your first child and you're really sort of switching up a lot of your day-to-day routine and your lifestyle. And then when you have a second, you're sort of learning some tips and tricks to really manage 2 children at once. And I feel like my third child was the child that really forced me to embrace simplifying so many aspects of my life. So I want to share with you some of the things that I have done in my life to simplify since becoming a mom of 3. Okay, number 1 is I no longer fold my kids' clothing. I will sort of like gently fold it just as I'm organizing it by child. But when I only had 2, I would file fold all of my kids' clothes. And I really do love this. I love the concept of doing it. Maybe in a different season of motherhood, I will go back to doing it because dang it, I just don't have the time to do it. And dang it, it doesn't really matter when my 3-year-old is just gonna go into her dresser and rip it all out anyways, looking for her favorite sweatshirt. I'm organizing by child and then I organize by function. So we have shirts, we have pants, we have pajamas. Number 2, I bulk make foods. I did not make any freezer meals or prep any food with my first or my second, but I finally did it with my third because I was like, holy guacamole, how am I gonna feed like my family of 5 while I am postpartum? And basically all that I did is whenever I was cooking something that would freeze well, I would start doubling it and putting one in the freezer. And I was like, wait, why don't I just do this all of the time? Why am I only doing this for early postpartum? So now I do it a ton. Whenever I make my lasagna, I make a couple of them and I'll stick them in the freezer. If it's Sunday morning and we make pancakes, I make some extra and I stick them in the freezers, just stuff like that. Because I love to be able to eat homemade foods and provide homemade foods, but I can't be making homemade foods every single day. Okay, so it's actually Sunday, which is when I do most of my meal prepping. I usually will try to like mass make some stuff for the entire week and prep some of the dinners ahead of time as well, because we typically are home on Sunday, so it's an easy day for me to make stuff. So I figured I'd show you some of the stuff I'm making this Sunday. So on Sundays, I always make a loaf or 2 of bread. This is sandwich bread I've been making lately, which is great for the kids' breakfast and lunch. I also usually make some type of salad. This is a chickpea salad because I will eat these for lunch for like the whole week. I've been making a ton of protein, like peanut butter bars. The kids love these. They're really great for their lunch boxes, and I snack on them all the time too. And I also made up 2 dump meals of chicken enchilada soup, one for this week and one for the freezer. Okay, next up, I order all of my groceries online. And I do this for a couple of reasons. One, yes, it's a little bit easier. Have you ever gone grocery shopping with 3 kids aged 5 and younger? It's not very fun. What I really like about it is because I am a very strict meal planner, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later in this video, this allows me to start my grocery list and I start shopping on like a Friday, and then I usually do my grocery pickup on Monday mornings. It allows me the entire weekend to really add to my list, to think about what I'm eating that week, and just be a lot more efficient with my grocery shopping. And it also just allows me to save a lot of money, because anytime you go into a grocery store, even if you have a list, you end up with some extra stuff that maybe you weren't planning on buying. Number 4, pack my kids' lunches in advance. So last year was the first year I started having to pack lunches for my kids, and I was literally packing my son's lunch the morning of, because I don't know, I'd never really packed lunches before, and I was like, can you really put a lunch in the refrigerator overnight and it's still good? I was worried things were gonna get soggy and they were gonna get gross. Then once my daughter started going, I was like, I can't be packing 2 lunches every morning, it's too much. So I started packing all of my lunches the night before. But then I realized there's a lot of things that you can put in a lunchbox, and it's good for like 48 hours if you put it in the fridge. Each of my kids have 2 lunch boxes. They each have one bent-go box, which looks like this. Then they have one Omni that looks like this. So I will pack both of these at once. Use the Omni box. It has a thermos piece that goes in, so I use this if I'm gonna do a hot lunch, and then, or if like we're doing like a sandwich that's bigger. And then when I'm doing bent-go lunch, it's usually more of like kind of a snack lunch, but I might put like a little sandwich in the big one. My kids are in school 5 days a week. On Wednesdays, it's pizza day. Okay, so on Sunday, I pack lunch for Monday, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, I pack lunch for Thursday, Friday. And so I am now sort of like bulk prepping lunch boxes that way, so it's like every morning I am not scrambling to make lunches. Number 5, I finally have officially started organizing my hand-me-downs. When I had my first son, I saved like so many of his clothes because I was like, I will absolutely use them for my next child. And then my next child was a girl, and she was born in a completely different season, and their sizes were different, and almost nothing ever matched up. And on top of that, I didn't have any organization to the baby clothes that I had saved. They were all just like in this big bag. And so like 2-month postpartum Callie wasn't like digging through the bags trying to find the 3-month sizing clothing. So then with my second, I kind of just like let it go. I was like, I will just buy new clothes for my kids as they need them. It is too much to manage. I don't want it on my plate as another thing to organize. But now that I have 3 kids, I do find there are a lot of things, especially like the nicer items like winter coats and boots and shoes and stuff like that I want to keep because only one child used it. And so what I finally did is I got these big plastic bins and I created one for different sizes. I have a 1-year size, a 3-year size. So when something is done, if it's still good quality and I want to keep it, I can throw it into that size bin. I have an easy place to pull from, something I never really attempted to do before having 3, but with having 3, it just makes so much more sense because I can't be buying new wardrobes every single time somebody grows out of something, which is like literally every month. Okay, let's talk about kids' cups. So one, I minimized the kinds of cups I have down to just 3 cups. When I had my first, we used like all of the different kinds of cups. I tried every kind of cup. We wanted to find the best ones. I finally have found the ones that I really like. So my kids have 360 cups. This is the cup that they use for anything that needs to be covered. That is it. We don't have any other kinds of sippy cups, none. We have the single kind, they're all interchangeable, so I don't have to worry about different tops and different pieces. Then for water bottles, we have 2 different kind of water bottles. We either have Yeti water bottles or we have Camelback water bottles. I have tried a lot of kids' water bottles, and I'm just telling you, these are the 2 best kid water bottles. And speaking of kids water bottles and sippy cups, I store water bottles and sippy cups with the tops on them. It's just easier for storing, it's easier for managing, and when it is time to use them, I have all the pieces and all of the tops that I need right there. Next up, I pull out my kids' outfits for the entire week. When I'm putting their laundry away, I'm pulling out an outfit for each of them for the entire week, and I have a spot in our kitchen that I keep it because we come down in the morning, we have breakfast, and then we get dressed after breakfast. It is so nice to not have to worry about running back upstairs or think about what my kids are wearing to school. It's just like one less thing on my to-do list during a busy morning. I honestly love it so much that I've started doing it for me. I'm not as good about doing an entire week. Sometimes I do an entire week, and those are like the best weeks. But in general, I usually will try to pull out like 2 outfits, and I have like a little spot in my dresser where I'll put those 2 outfits, and then I can grab one the night before and stick it in the bathroom. So in the morning, I just have what I'm wearing. And speaking of clothing, I have started outsourcing my laundry sometimes when things get too busy. For me, when I get crazy busy, one of the number one things that is going to fall to the wayside is laundry. With 3 kids, I need to sort of be doing laundry every day, and if I don't, it is going to pile up to a place where it feels really unmanageable. I use a company called Poplin, which basically is like Uber for laundry. So you request somebody, they call them laundry professionals. They come the same day to pick up your laundry for you. They will wash it, they will fold it. You can use your detergent or their detergent, whatever you want, and then they bring it back to you by 8 p.m. the next night. Washed, dried, and folded. This saves me a lot of time when things get really busy. If you're interested in trying it, I actually reached out to the company because I love using them so much and got a code for you guys. I will have that in the description box down below. It'll give you your first wash for free up to $20. Next up, I meal plan, and I'm quite strict about my meal planning. This is actually something I got really good about after my second was born, but I'm even more like really on top of it with a third. The truth is, I can't on like a Tuesday night be wondering what's for dinner. I need to know in advance, one, so that I can order my groceries and have all of that taken care of, like I said, because I'm just not somebody who's gonna like on a whim run to the grocery store because we're out of whatever. I need to know that I have everything I need so when I get home I can just do it, and I can plan dinners around our schedule. For example, on Thursdays, my older 2 kids have swim lessons. We get home around 5:15, 5:30, and then we have family dinner. I need something that literally can just go into the oven. Honestly, meal planning is probably one of the number one things that you can do to simplify your life. I'm gonna link my ultimate meal planning bundle below. This is a printable. It has a ton of printables in here to help you meal plan, but also my best tips and tricks on how to actually stick with meal planning and be successful doing it. Something else I've started using that I literally love so much. It's literally like one of my favorite things that I bought and started doing in 2023 is the website 5 Dinners 1 Hour. I will have a link in the description box down below to use it. The way that this works is the idea is that you can prep 5 days worth of dinner in 1 hour. So they have all of these great recipes and they all have directions on how to assemble it. And then you're doing all of the prep work in a single day for 5 dinners. And then when it's actually time to eat it, usually you're just sort of like popping something in the oven, or you're like pouring it out of the container into the dish and cooking it. I never really honestly thought that I could prep a ton of food in advance. I just never really thought that it was something that would work. Holy guacamole, it works so well. At first, I wasn't sure if I was gonna love a lot of the frozen meals. I do find that sometimes there'll be certain things that, like it'll say get some frozen bakery rolls, which I get it. The whole point is to put the dinner together really quick. I'm not a frozen bakery roll kind of person. Or it'll be like use a microwavable rice. I'm not a microwavable rice kind of person, but it's very easy swaps that I can still like swap out that stuff for the things that I like. So honestly, when I went into it, I was unsure that I was really gonna like it. I was like, I don't know if these are really recipes that I eat. I am obsessed. We have found some of our favorite recipes through them. I love that on a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon or like Monday night, I can prep multiple meals. And then when it is time to eat dinner, I'm like literally 10 minutes or less being able to get this dinner put together and put on the table. 45 minutes on a Sunday to prep a couple of meals, you are going to thank yourself tenfold throughout the week when you have these meals already prepped and ready to go. Next up is I definitely, with this third one, have learned to embrace the chaos a little bit more. Things sometimes are just a little more messy. In the day-to-day life, say it's a Sunday and I'm home with the kids all day, my husband's doing some stuff around the house, I'm meal prepping, the kids are playing, the house is gonna get messy, which I feel like used to maybe trigger me a lot more often. I find that now I can sort of like let it get messy in the flow of the day and know at lunchtime, me and my son will do a big cleanup together when my daughter is taking her nap, and then after the kids go to bed, I can do another sweep. Like I can always bring the home back to tidy. I think that I've just learned that, you know, I've got a home that I can sort of keep efficiently that way. And so when it gets messy and crazy throughout the day to day, as homes do with children, because children are just messy, I can embrace that a lot better. And I can sort of let the mess happen and enjoy the moments of that and know that it doesn't mean that it's gonna be messy all the time just because it's messy right this second. Okay, last but not least is socks by the door. Are we ending on a high or a low? I don't know. I've shared this one in the past and you guys tag me on Instagram all of the time that you have switched up your socks and it like changed your life. Why do we keep socks in our dresser drawer? Upstairs in our bedroom, or maybe you don't have your bedroom upstairs, we do. When we need our socks, when we put our shoes on. I can't tell you how many mornings I was running upstairs to get my kids' socks to come back downstairs to put their shoes on. Because what it is about children, when they have socks on, they take the socks off. Don't put the socks on until you put the shoes on, otherwise the socks are gonna come off. So thus, you want the socks by the shoes. All right, my friends, that does it. Some of the ways that I have simplified my life with 3 children. I hope that some of this helps you as well. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.